How many rides can I do at the busiest theme park in the world during the busiest time of year? Let's find out. Hey there, ma'am fam. I am, headed to Magic Kingdom today for a new challenge. Today, I'm gonna see how many rides I can do in just 3 hours during a summer afternoon at the Magic Kingdom. Magic Kingdom is the busiest theme park in the world, and summer is typically one of the busiest times to go. But is that still the case? What are the wait times gonna look like? How many rides do you think we can do? So drop your predictions down in the comments, and let's get to the park. Here's how the challenge works. I'm putting 3 hours on the clock to see how many rides I can do at Magic Kingdom, the busiest theme park in the world, during the summer, which is one of the busiest times of year to come. I have purchased Lightning Lane Multipass, so I will be using that as a tool. I will also be using Standby, potentially Fancy Rides if any of them come available. However, they were not available when I was booking this. The clock is gonna start the minute I step into my first queue, and I'm excited to see what we can do. Now, this is not a full Lightning Lane video. For the breakdown of that, definitely check out my 2025 Lightning Lane guide, which will show you everything you need to know about how to use Lightning Lanes, what I recommend booking, some strategies. I've also got park by park guides, so highly recommend checking those out. But what I will tell you is I'm not a resort guest today, so I could book 3 days in advance, and the options weren't great. They were mostly later times in the day, but through the magic of Fiddle Faddle throughout the last few days, including this morning, I'm walking in with this stack of Lightning Lanes, and I'll be getting some throughout the video in real time as well. I know it may be a controversial take, but if I'm parking at the Transportation and Ticket Center, which is where you have to park if you're not coming from a Disney resort, you have to take either the monorail or the ferry boat to get across the lake to Magic Kingdom, and I go ferry boat. I know, a lot of people love monorail, and monorail's classic, it's iconic, I get it. But one, on a ferry boat, you can get a shaky Jamaica at the Joffrey's right there and have that accompany you on the way over. And two, I just find the ferry boat more relaxing, more peaceful. I love the view across Seven Seas Lagoon as you see the castle and the train station come closer and closer into view. It's also usually less crowded, and so it's a little bit more of a relaxing experience before you get into the hustle and bustle of the park. All right, headed onto the ferry boat. This is the Admiral Joe Fowler, who is named after a Navy admiral that Walt Disney and team brought on as an Imagineer because he understood ships and structural things, and he actually is the Imagineer who designed the Utilidor, which is the underground corridors underneath the Magic Kingdom where cast members can get to and from their locations. There's a barber shop, there's costuming, there's all kinds of things down there out of guest view because that would ruin the perfect show of being at the Magic Kingdom. Fun fact time, we got time, we're on the ferry. A lot of people refer to that as the tunnels, and while that was the original idea, the team quickly found out that you cannot build a tunnel in Florida because it's a swamp. The minute you start to break ground, it fills up with water. So actually the Utilidor is a first story building. It was just a building they built where the Magic Kingdom sits now. They covered it with a bunch of dirt that they dug from right in front of the Magic Kingdom. Big hole, they dug dirt, took all that dirt, topped it on top of the building, and then built the Magic Kingdom on top of it. So actually when you're in the Magic Kingdom, you are on the second story of a building. And of course that big hole of dirt, well, they helped fill that in, and now that's Seven Seas Lagoon. All right, I've made it into the park and into my first land, Adventureland, headed to my first Lightning Lane so that I can start booking more of them. The good news is it doesn't seem that crowded right now. The bad news is all the outdoor rides just closed for weather. There was some lightning in the area, and I don't think it's actually gonna rain, but there is lightning nearby, and outdoor rides closed based on lightning. It actually has nothing to do with the rain. So that will throw me off a little bit because a lot of the really good filler rides that don't have long lines are outside, like Dumbo, Magic Carpets of Aladdin, Barnstormer, Speedway. But we're gonna roll with it. We're gonna see what happens. Hopefully they reopen soon. We don't even have to worry about it. This is also bad because when the outdoor rides close, the indoor rides lines get longer, and thus Lightning Lanes will be harder to get. So, you know what? Got my work cut out for me. But our first ride today, Pirates of the Caribbean, my favorite ride in Magic Kingdom. So starting with a bang. All right, I'm officially in my first queue, which means start the clock. Pirates of the Caribbean is a family-friendly, no height requirement boat ride that takes you back in time to the golden age of the pirates, featuring some of your favorites like Captain Jack Sparrow. As you can see, it's incredibly popular, which this queue is partly inflated by the fact that outdoor rides are closed. So it's a good use of a lightning lane, especially a good tier 2 lightning lane. Pirates of the Caribbean, I've said it a million times, but to me it's a perfect Disney attraction. It's a boat ride, which is a classic mode of transportation. It's for the whole family, but there's still some thrill. You've got that original ex Atencio music. I love it so much, and I'm excited to ride it now. I will say, lightning lane a little backed up. Again, weather. So we'll see what happens. We're gonna just have a good time. But now that I've tapped into my first attraction, I can book a new lightning lane. So let's see what's available. Let's look at the wait times too. All right, 30 minutes at Buzz, 7:20 lightning lane. Barnstormer Dumbo closed. Mansion 50, no lightning lanes. Small World 45, I already have a lightning lane. Jungle Cruise closed and out of lightning lanes. 25 at Mad Tea Party, but a soon lightning lane. It's 25 because, again, outdoor rides closed. Pooh 40 out of lightning lanes. All the shows have ample lightning lanes and low waits. That would be what I would recommend doing if you are doing a ride challenge. If it's getting rainy and you want somewhere to go in between your lightning lanes. Pirates 50 and Space. 305 at Space with a 55-minute wait. Closed at Tiana's. Oh, Mermaid's closed too, which is bad because that's a good filler ride. That's obviously not weather related. We're gonna go ahead and book Space at 305. Oh, it's no longer available. Well, shoot. I took too long scrolling. Let's try again. Yep, now it's gone. Well, oh, but a mine train opened up. We're gonna buy this mine train. Heck yeah. That locks in another ride for us, pending the weather. And we're gonna try to get another multi-pass. All right. I'd really like something on this side of the park. My next destination is Fantasyland, so I was really hoping to get like Mansion or Jungle or something kind of nearby here or in Fantasyland. But we're gonna book. I'm gonna just go ahead and book Tea Party, which is crazy, because at least it's open.
Everyone an egg layer.
All right, ride 1 check. It took about 10 minutes to get on. It's already dropped to a 30-minute wait because guess what? The outdoor rides reopened whilst I was on board. So I'm backtracking a little bit to do Magic Carpets of Aladdin, which still only has a 5-minute wait since it just reopened. To knock that one off before I head towards Fantasyland. I did get got a few times waiting to board. It took 10 minutes to get on board. I did get got, which is what I call it when you are trying to get a lightning lane and you click it and then it says, sorry, that's no longer available, by Space Mountain a couple times. So I still have Mad Tea Party, which I'm definitely gonna try and ditch. But for now, we're gonna go fly with Aladdin, which has a posted 5-minute wait, although it looks longer. Let me feel this out. Still a posted 5-minute wait. I'm predicting it's gonna be a little bit longer, but hopefully not too much. That way I've knocked another one off, didn't have to worry about a lightning lane, and whilst I'm waiting, I can fiddle faddle, try to get another lightning lane in Fantasyland, or maybe Haunted Mansion, we'll see. But Magic Carpets of Aladdin is a spinner style attraction, think a Dumbo style ride. Pretty simple, you're gonna go up and down on a carpet. It's definitely not a must do for most people, but it's a good attraction if you have someone little that loves Aladdin or you just need to do something in between some of your lightning lanes. Magic Carpets of Aladdin check. Took about 10 minutes, but that's 2 rides in about 40 minutes, which is pretty good. And I was able to fiddle faddle. I got a bunch of times by a couple different rides, but I was able to fiddle faddle that Mad Tea Party to Space Mountain. I then scurried across the way here to get on this side of the street because the parade's about to step off and there's lots and lots of traffic and I don't want to get stopped by the parade as I head into Fantasyland. In Fantasyland, I've got both Peter Pan's Flight and It's a Small World booked right now, so I could go on either one. I'm going for Peter Pan's Flight though, because while both are great attractions, classic, iconic, Peter Pan's Flight has the longer line. Definitely not riding that without a lightning lane. It's also the shorter attraction, which is good for me in a time challenge. So I might try and change it to Small World to something else, but mostly Peter Pan will help me rack up another number faster than Small World. Peter Pan's Flight currently has a 60-minute wait, which is pretty typical. It's usually at least an hour. And it is an adorable, iconic, classic, nostalgic attraction where you're going to board a pirate ship and sail across Neverland. It is a tier 1 attraction when it comes to booking your lightning lanes, and a great choice if you are using lightning lane and want to ride this because, again, very long line. Oh, Nana. Peter Pan's Flight done, and now I've popped right across the way to Prince Charming Regal Carousel, which is literally gonna let me on right now. Saw that it didn't have much of a line. I didn't realize it was that little of a line. So we're gonna add this one onto the list as another just quick filler ride. Personally, one of my favorite filler rides because I love a carousel. It's a classic, it's nostalgic, it's a simple joy, you know? Because there's a face on her butt. Carousel done, check, and that means I've ridden 4 attractions in less than an hour. So we're doing pretty good. I almost didn't want to say this out loud, but I believe my record for this challenge is 10. It'd be pretty cool to break it, but we'll see. Now, as far as my lightning lanes go, not gonna lie to you, they're a little bit of a mess right now. I got Small World, which I just don't think is a good use of this challenge time because the attraction's lovely, but it's long and has a very slow load and unload process, so it's a big chunk of time. I got Space Mountain, but it's for outside of my timer window, so I am trying to modify that. And then I've got nothing booked. Like, I have a freebie one that I can book because with multi-pass, you can't stack anymore, but you can always have 3. And then I did snag that fancy ride for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train towards the end of my challenge window time. So I think what I'm gonna do is cancel Small World, keep fiddle faddling Space for earlier, and then have the 2 freebies open to book throughout the day. In the meantime, just knock out stuff that has low waits, which there's plenty of nearby. For example, Under the Sea Journey of the Little Mermaid, which I think is a great filler attraction. Only is a 10-minute wait right now. This is a slow-moving, dark ride, no height requirement. You're gonna board a clam mobile and head under the sea with Ariel as it tells you the story of the Little Mermaid. And yeah, it's terrifying, but it's also adorable and fun, and the music's great.
Not as fun if you're a crab. Yeah, thanks for the grumble stocker. Ah, grumble stocker. That's quite a word. Say it with me, everybody.
Legs are required for jumping, dancing. See for yourself, poor child.
So sad, so true. They come flocking to my home. Spell touch me, and I help them. Yes, I do. Peace.
Under the Sea Journey, The Little Mermaid, check. That puts us at 5. It's looking a little cloudy, but so far the outdoor attractions are still open, so we're not gonna worry about it. And we're headed into Storybook Circus to do Dumbo and or Barnstormer, depending what their weights are like. They're both pretty low, but let's see if they stay low and stay open with this weather. All right, Dumbo has a 5-minute wait, so we're gonna do that. Dumbo, classic, iconic, nostalgic, simple spinner attraction that I feel like it's a must do, especially on your kid's first time at Disney World. Beautiful views of the castle and Storybook Circus, 5-minute wait, perfection. Also a little Lightning Lane update. I was able to modify It's a Small World into a Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger spin in about 30 minutes from now. And then I've still got space booked too late, and then I've got 1 slot open. So I'll see what I can find whilst waiting in this Dumbo queue. And honestly, the only downfall to Dumbo having such a short queue right now is that you wouldn't get to play in the playground, because one of the coolest parts of this queue is that behind this circus tent right here, they have a big, fun Dumbo-themed play set for kids. And normally, if the line's longer, they would give the parents a restaurant pager, and the kids get to play and run around. Parents get to sit in the air conditioning, and then like a restaurant, they'll page you when it's your turn to fly. So it's actually one of the best queues, in my opinion, especially for little ones. But, you know, no line is also very good. Now, most people would say all Dumbos are the same. All Dumbos are created equal, and it's just about, you know, whatever color you prefer. But I'm not most people, because I believe there is one true superior Dumbo, and it's this one right here. Because this is what I call the Clemson Dumbo, because it's orange and purple, the colors of the greatest university on the planet. There's another Clemson Dumbo over that way as well, although that one looks a little bluer, but they are both Clemson Dumbos. So therefore, yes, I will be attempting to get that one, and I will do my best not to let my competitive spirit push over any of the children in the line in front of me. All right, that one's taken. Just gonna subtly walk right here. Oh yeah. Target acquired. One, two, three, four, 1, 2, 3, 4, CLEMSONTIGERS. Fight, Tigers, fight, Tigers, fight, fight, fight. All right, Dumbo, check. Barnstormer's up to a 25-minute wait, which is too long, and the Lightning Lane's not for right now, so I skipped that one. It's not too long, obviously, for a regular person, but for a challenge it is. And now I am booked on Mad Tea Party. Do I need a Lightning Lane for Mad Tea Party? No, it's a 10-minute wait right now. But I could book it for right this second, and being in the Lightning Lane guarantees I'll get on a sooner spin. Most of these people in this 10-minute wait are probably looking at waiting 3 spins maybe, and I'm looking at hopefully getting in the next one or the one after that. So just doing it for speed, but I would never recommend booking a Lightning Lane for Mad Tea Party when it has a 10-minute wait. The Teacups, another nostalgic classic here, another no height requirement attraction where you're gonna spin on a teacup. But you don't have to if you don't want to. You get to control how fast your teacup spins. So while there's gonna be movement regardless, because it's on a turntable, if you don't wanna whip around a lot, you don't have to. All right, teacups done. And with the teacups being done, we crossed the halfway mark of our timer. I have officially 1 hour and 21 minutes left. But let's look at the wait times. Just do a good refresh just in case I see something I want to book, because I do have a spot open. All right. 30 minutes at Buzz. We have a Lightning Lane in a little bit for that. Haunted Mansion 40, none available. Jungle Cruise temporarily closed. Winnie the Pooh 40, nothing available for that. Space Mountain 70, nothing available. We have it booked for too far out our window. Still trying to modify that. Barnstormer 30 does have Lightning Lanes and a about 3 hours. Dumbo still 10, Small World 30, but does have lightning lanes. We may end up circling back there. Let's see, just trying to hit the highlights here. Peter Pan 50, no lightning lanes left. Pirates 40, later lightning lanes. Mine Train 65, I'm gonna guess no, not available for purchase. We got lucky there. 80 at Tiana's, nothing for lightning lanes. 85 at Tron, no lightning lanes, and 20 at Little Mermaid with lightning lanes in about 2 hours. So I'm gonna jump in line right here for the Tomorrowland Transit Authority People Mover because this is really not a very long line, if I could find the end of it. This has a 0-inch height requirement as well, and no lightning lane, so it's always just however long the wait is. It said 20 minutes in the app, but I don't know that this will actually be 20 minutes, so that's great. This is an Omnimover attraction that takes you throughout Tomorrowland, including over by Tron and looking at the Speedway into Space Mountain. And because it's an Omnimover, which is this style of attraction where you board a moving sidewalk that's moving at the same pace as the vehicle, meaning it technically would never have to stop if it wasn't for humans. Of course, they can stop it to help guests in wheelchairs or guests that need a little more time load, but it potentially never stops running, meaning it's very efficient to load and unload guests, which is why you'll see attractions like this, Haunted Mansion, Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, Under the Sea, Spaceship Earth, etc., tend to have relatively low waits because of how efficient they are at getting guests on and off. But also, this is the original Omnimover, making its debut at the 64-65 New York World Fair, and it was called the Ford Magic Skyway, and it was a bunch of Ford vehicles connected together, and they were being pushed by wheels underneath them, continuously moving, and you would board it and you would go throughout time, including the age of the dinosaurs. And you can still see those dinosaurs over in Disneyland.
This is the TTA Blue Line, non-stop service around Tomorrowland. Transfer to Green and Red Line.
31. Please keep forward-facing tentacles clear on
Relaxation walk over at the most refreshing retreat in the galaxy.
to confirm your flight to the moon. Thank you.
A lovely spin around Tomorrowland, definitely the most luxuriating ride in the park. And now it is time for my lightning lane at Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, which currently has a 30-minute wait, so glad to have a lightning lane. Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin is a no high requirements shooter style attraction where you are going to climb aboard and help Buzz Lightyear defeat the evil Emperor Zurg.
Check the status board and review your score. Remember, to infinity and beyond. Check the status board and review your score.
The thing about me is, I'm so good at that game and so competitive that I become bad at my job. Like, I often forget to take B-roll on the ride, like footage of the ride, because I'm so intensely playing the game. So sometimes I have to use old footage because I'm so serious about winning. And I did pretty good. I maxed out one gun and got like almost 900,000 on the other one. Once in my life I maxed out 2 guns. It's a fine day. It's a fine day. I look back fondly. Anyway, I love that ride, and it's going under refurbishment later this year where they're going to update it, which I'm really excited about. They're going to add new haptics, they're going to add new targets, make it easier to see what you're shooting at. They're going to color code it. It's going to be great. Okay, I've got 45 minutes left on the clock, and I've got Mine Train pretty soon, so I want to head back that way. And so I went ahead and booked Tomorrowland Speedway since it's on the way and I could book it for pretty soon. One thing I do want to highlight, if you notice when I'm booking them, it asks me who's going with me. Now, of all my family and friends connected on the app, I'm the only eligible one because no one else is here nor has Lightning Lane, but I just want to point that out because people often say I'm only able to get as many lightning lanes as I do because I'm one person, but if you notice, the app doesn't actually care. It shows you the time available and then asks you how many people are going. And while this isn't the most popular attraction, it does get a longer wait. Like, it's 20 minutes right now, which is 15 minutes longer than I'd wait personally. And anyway, while 20 minutes isn't long, normally, thank you. 20 minutes is 20 minutes right now. Here she comes to wreck the day. What I didn't get to tell you, because it was so loud, is that you have to be 32 inches tall to ride and drive these cars, and 54 inches to ride alone, also 7 years old to ride alone. This attraction is fun if you are a child and don't drive regularly, but if you're an adult, it's like Traffic, the ride. Well, not really Traffic. You can't go that far. But it's a nice little filler ride, and whilst I'm not the target audience for this at all, because I drive a car every day, my nephews are obsessed with this ride. So it's definitely one that little kids like, and it is definitely one that's a good filler ride because the line's not usually too long. Jesus. Oh my God. Baby can't see, baby I know, that's that espresso. When I'm down like the I got all like Nintendo. Like boom, then it happened. But all the one in the room where it happened. Alexander Hamilton, what did you tell you to get to summer bus and get down the river? Everybody, yeah, rock your body, yeah. Speedway check-in. Whilst there was a slight delay at unload, we're still doing great because that officially ties my record at this challenge, which is 10. And I am now headed to Mine Train with about 25 minutes left on the clock. I've got a lightning lane for Mine Train. And so as long as that doesn't get delayed, we should hopefully maybe beat it by at least one, if not maybe two. I'm playing theme park closing rules as always in our challenges, which is as long as I'm in the queue when the timer goes off, I get to ride that ride and count it. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is a fancy ride, meaning if you want to skip the line, you are going to have to purchase a lightning lane individually. I was lucky that one popped up throughout the day today. I should note I saw Tron pop up as well. It was just outside of my time, so I didn't want to book it and pay for it if I wasn't guaranteed going to be able to ride it. Look how long this line is. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is a very cute part coaster, part dark ride, 38-inch height requirement, and it's going to take you through the mine with the dwarves from Snow White. It's adorable, especially love the way the vehicles work. So let's go, hi-ho. All right, we are scanned in. I'm gonna try and lock in one more lightning lane, see if I can move space, see if I can snag Mansion. We'll see. I technically don't need a lightning lane because as long as I can get in the queue after this, but it would, I paid for it, might as well, right? Seven Dwarfs Mine Train done. That ride is so cute. I just have a delightful time every time I ride, especially when, I see Dopey. Zetus Lapidus listeners, that one's for you. And miraculously, as I was getting into the queue, I was fiddle-faddling the Space Mountain to see if I could move it up, and I got a Haunted Mansion for about 20 minutes, which will put me almost exactly to the timer running out when I can scan in at Haunted Mansion. Okay. But that means I have 20 minutes, so I can ride something else. But it can't take more than 20 minutes, which right now with the wait times is basically nothing except for the carousel. So we're going again, because I made this game up and I never said if rerides count or not, so now I decided they do. But you could tell me if you think rerides count. Let's do a little wait time update situation. The park was a lot quieter than I thought it would be at one point when I guess everyone was back at the hotel for their afternoon nap, pool, refresh time. And now it's quite busy again with people having popped in, I'm assuming from park hopping and coming back for the evening. Jungle Cruise, 45 minutes, no lightning lane. Winnie the Pooh, 35, no lightning lane. Space, 40, no lightning lane. Barnstormer, 25, there are some lightning lane. Buzz, 35, there are some lightning lane. And several hours from now, Dumbo, 35, but lightning lanes. I had booked Small World. I'm going to go ahead and cancel it because I'm not going to ride it. But that has a 30-minute wait, which earlier a lot of these things had 20 or less. Teacups, 10 minutes. Lightning lanes, 15 at Aladdin. Lightning lanes, but in a couple hours. Let's see. 55 at Peter Pan, no lightning lanes. 35 at Pirates and lightning lanes around 10, which is in about 4 hours. 55 at Mine Train, no fancy rides left. 70 at Tiana's, nothing left. 75 at Tron, nothing left. So it's definitely picked back up as far as the crowd goes. The thing about wait times at Magic Kingdom is there's a couple of things that'll get over an hour, but like it's pretty busy right now, but not that much is outlandishly long because there's so many rides. Magic Kingdom has the blessing of quantity here. There's over 20 rides. So therefore, unlike Hollywood Studios where you've got like all bangers, there's a lot of places to spread people out here. So it's like not that much has really long lines, but a lot of things have like an annoying medium length line, if that makes sense. Carousel number 2, check. And I've got 3 minutes till I can tap in, which seems like enough time to shop for ears. All right, let's see. Have them. What is this? Oh, they're white versions of, so you can get the characters to sign. That's fun. Or this version with the bow. Have them. No, I have different aerial pairs. I have to draw a line somewhere. I do like the Moana pair, but I'm more into solid colors. I have like half these too. So, all right, well, no ears for me today. And with less than 2 minutes on the clock, let's go tap in at Haunted Mansion. I couldn't have planned this better, honestly. Haunted Mansion is a beloved classic, iconic, one of the best, definitely the biggest cult following Disney attraction around the world. Made its debut in 1969 in Disneyland, was an opening attraction here in Disney World in 1971. And every Disney park around the world, with the exception of Shanghai, has its own version of the Haunted Mansion. And we are tapped in. Interestingly, Haunted Mansion is in a different land in every attraction in the world. Here in Walt Disney World, of course, it's in Liberty Square. In Disneyland, it's in New Orleans Square. In Hong Kong, it's in Mystic Point, and it's called Mystic Manor. I have yet to see that one. That's a 2026 dream right there. Oh, my alarm's going off. I should ignore it like I do in the morning. No, just kidding. In Tokyo Disneyland, it's actually in Fantasyland, which is interesting. And most recently, we went on Phantom Manor, which is in Frontierland in Disneyland Paris. And I gotta say, so far, my favorite version of the ride. But Haunted Mansion here is a dark ride. It's a family attraction, no height requirement, where you're going to board a doom buggy and check out the 999 happy haunts. See if you want to volunteer to be 1,000. Haunted Mansion is a great use of a lightning lane because just like Pirates of the Caribbean, it's tier 2 in the charts, but tier 1 in our hearts. Meaning when you're booking your initial lightning lanes at this park, you can book any of the tier 1 ones, one of them, Peter Pan's Flight, Tiana's Bayou Adventure. When it reopens, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, Space Mountain, or Jungle Cruise. And then you get to pick 2 tier 2 attractions. So the fact that you could start with any one of those, plus Pirates, plus Haunted Mansion, does make Lightning Lane more desirable here than some of the other parks. Also, just to note, Haunted Mansion had some downtimes earlier, which is part of the reason you're seeing a little bit back up here in the Lightning Lane. If an attraction has a downtime, they're going to offer a lightning lane for anyone that had one during that time to come back whenever it reopens. So therefore, it does back up a little bit. It's still going to be much faster than the standby line. Please don't yell at the cast members like I just saw one guy doing. I gave him a dirty look, though.
Betrays an aura of foreboding.
almost as though you sense a disquieting metamorphosis.
One of the greatest ghost writers the literary world has ever known.
Serpents and spiders, tail of a rat, call in the spirits.
Be sure to bring your death certificate.
What a ride. What a way to end the day. We did 13 rides, 12 different rides in 3 hours. Wow. And most of them, I didn't even use Lightning Lane on. It's like less than half off the top of my head that I did use Lightning Lane on. All the bangers were Lightning Lane. All of the fillers were not, which is exactly how I would tell you to use Lightning Lane and how I say it in all of those videos. You gotta use a mix and match. And obviously if you're a normal, sane person and you have a Lightning Lane for Space Mountain in an hour, you don't rampantly try to change it because you're a sane person. This is just fun. This is just hopefully entertaining and a good way to show you in real time what it's like to navigate these parks. And what I think we realized is that parks really weren't that busy during the summer, which is in line with what Disney told us at a media event we went to not that long ago, where they said, ever since COVID, times have changed. And as someone that goes to the parks professionally for a living, I can tell you that as well. Ever since COVID, it has been very hard to predict crowd patterns. The main exception to this are the holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas, New Year's, still incredibly busy, but previously, times of the year that weren't super busy can end up being busy, and times of the year that were busy, like the summer, may not be as busy. And I'm not gonna say what the 4th of July is gonna look like, but here I am, middle of June, lots of attractions under an hour. According to Disney, that has a lot to do with the fact that parents are more willing to take their kids out of school during other times of year as opposed to just committing to the summer when their kids are on vacation. It also has to do with the fact that people perceive the summer as a really busy time because historically it always has been. But actually, if you're here, it's not that busy or not much busier than some other times of year. It's also the fact that they don't have a festival right now going on at Epcot. It's also the fact it's really, really hot and a lot of people don't want to come when it's this hot. It also could be that people are saving and going for the seasonal times like Halloween or Christmas. I also have to mention a new theme park opened up down the road and the lines are quite long there. So there's people splitting up their time more, I think, than ever before between the two properties. All that said, I previously would have never told you to visit in the summer if you had other options. Whereas now, as long as you can handle the heat, it doesn't seem like the summer is that bad as far as crowds go, but it is still really, really hot, so keep that in mind. So let me know when you plan on coming to the theme parks. Let me know what kind of challenges you want to see next. We just kicked off our Evening in the Park series, so make sure to follow that and let me know which park you want to see that in next. And until next time, friends, make sure to rate, review, subscribe, follow us on social media, come hang out with the Man Fam in Discord, check out our Patreon for behind the scenes content and more. And until next time, I'm Molly, and it has truly been so magical. Bye!